Greetings to all of you. Even though my greetings are mingled with sadness, concerns, and all due worries. Although I am neither a historian nor am an expert in global politics, yet to the best of my bona fide and genuine belief and understanding, the distinction between a dictator and a monstrous tyrant is that a dictator often tries to aid, enhance the interests of his own nation, his own people. Whereas a monstrous tyrant cares for nothing except his own powers in order to hold on to his own powers at the cost of the innocent, even the most innocent of the innocent, the weakest of the weak, the poorest of the poor. As I already mentioned just a moment ago, not being a historian, my knowledge of history is limited. Yet, to the best of my understanding, one of the most outstanding dictators of history was Gaius Julius Caesar, anglicized Gaius Julius Caesar. He was no doubt harsh, many a times cruel, many a times stubborn, but at the same time, many a times he was also humane. A striking example is probably the besieging of the village known as Gaul, or the area, the province known as Gaul. He spared the lives of the women, the children, and even those who surrendered to him or to his regime, with the exception of the very leader who led the revolution against the Roman Empire, or Imperium Roma, or Imperium Romana, as some people like to call it. But the recent incidents taking place somewhere in Europe is totally beyond humanity. It is totally beyond my grasp. It is totally beyond my comprehension and understanding. Attacking with a missile onto the hospital of infants, even babies and little children, many of whom were cancer patients, is not merely inhumane. It is devilish, it is monstrous, it is vicious. And so was it when a vicious, tyrannical, monstrous dictator attacked a hospital. Yet, I crave leave to recall the fact that this was not the only and the sole incident when this vicious dictator attacked Children's Hospital. Such an incident occurred, to the best of my remembrance, hardly 2 years and 3 months ago. In this incident, hardly 2 years and 3 months earlier than the recent incidents. I find it so difficult to understand that there are individuals like this monstrous and vicious dictator who learned nothing from studying history, forgetting what happened to that vicious dictator who assumed power in the year 1933 and was compelled to commit suicide as late as in the year 1945. He feared that, like one of his former friends and colleagues in a neighboring country of his, he might also be hanged upside down. And therefore he directed and ordered his subordinates not merely to ensure that his body would be hidden or not be found, but be dissolved in strong ascetic solution, that the victorious powers would not be able to treat his body in a manner exhibiting in public to warn other dictators. I begin to query whether these dictators fail to learn anything based upon the historical facts, or they refuse to learn so, because even being able to see, they are blinded not merely by most serious and vicious greed, but also vacant pride, upon which they build their ivory towers, bound to collapse with them. The recent incidents is not merely very sad and mournful, not merely tragic, but outrageous and unpardonable. I also fail to understand how the international communities keep silence, and some of those nations belonging to such communities enhance or allow the dictator to enhance the war by purchasing articles which are sanctioned by various communities and countries of the world. Like the cat mewing on the background, one of my pets. Too many mothers, too many fathers, too many children are crying at this very moment. In the New Testament of the Holy Bible, precisely in the Gospel according to St. Matthew, it is recorded that King Herod destroyed children who were 2 years of age or below that age, because he was not able to find the Christ child. According to the historians, King Herod even killed his own sons, yet died in a miserable death of agony caused by skin infection and physical deteriorating parts of his body falling apart. I begin to query whether this dictator will face the vicious dictator, the tyrannical dictator, a similar end. Calling myself a Jewish Christian, even though I'm unworthy of the same recognition, I cover my head and call upon the creator of the universe, even the creator of those innocent victims dying in the recent atrocity in a cancer hospital, to intervene. May God the Almighty avenge those victims and execute his judgment in prevention of further atrocity and atrocities in plural of this vicious dictator and others who are endangered to fall into the same trap of following his vicious example. I thank the viewers in anticipation for the needful understanding while I remain in service of all those, even the young children, including infants and babies, who are being victimized today in various parts of the world. I bid all of you a very solemn night and protection of the same Almighty who created all of us, even the victims to which I referred a moment ago.